Hi, tubers.
The Wade and Carter Show is a paid programming and created to see Magic Money Call assumes no
Okay, we'll see you guys later.
Bye, brother.
You guys have the business.
Coming up on the Wade and Carter Show, we've got a new national spelling bee champ. Famous attorney is going to prison. All that and more coming up on today's show.
Wait, what?
You have the business version of Facebook, right? You don't have the regular version. You have the business version.
No, it's regular version.
Regular version?
Just create a page.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. We can show you. We need to sit down.
Okay.
Temperatures today.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
How are you, sir?
Just wet and tired of it.
Yeah, me too. So should we just do this real quick?
Well, we can do it. So we call the Wade and Carter no-brainer weather. I mean, Deerland Feed is our great sponsor for the weather, and they are about as consistent as this rain. Every day, Deerland Feed is there for everything you need, whether it be a farm, ranch, or around your house. 75 degrees in Victoria, heading to a high today of only 81, and it's just going to rain all day. People just rain. I mean, Noah floated by.
Yeah, Victoria General haven't canceled the game yet, but they do have a contingency plan in place to move today's games to Tuesday.
Why don't they just move into the old Victoria High gym and play wiffle ball? $50 a seat, free keg. Be awesome. I bet you they'd pack it. Wiffle ball game among those young guys, free beer.
I bet you.
I bet you get $25 a
head.
head.
Beer on the ISD property.
There you go. Technicalities, holding back progress.
Always. Oh, man.
Where do you want to start?
I don't know. Where do you want to start today?
Well, I was a little concerned. I read, I was up early this morning. I don't know why. Good morning, T-Lat. I don't know why I was up early, but I just was, 4:45-ish. And I started reading, and they've captured now 11 of the 17 people that they claim were involved in the assassination of the Haitian president. And 2 of the 11 that they've caught were Americans. Now, you think white mercenaries. I think they were of Latin descent, and I think they were working with a Colombian group is what's being alleged. And I didn't start it. Yeah, we just didn't start Facebook. We just didn't start it, but it's here. But they're saying that there were 11 folks detained now in connection with a whole cache of weapons, and saying that 2 of the people they caught were American, and that is consistent. The first report I got, it's amazing how if you can get the first report of any incident, usually you'll find a fact or 2 that are left out of every other report. And I don't know if that's because authorities say, let's not talk about that anymore, or if they're saying, hey, that wasn't intended for the public.
Yeah, but I think there's some of that.
They were saying that these people spoke Spanish. That was the first, and I got that on a live, a YouTube report.
Well, I mean, Haiti's right there neck,
Yeah, but they, but the fact that these folks are Colombian would lend itself to check that box. If they'd been German, you'd go, well, something's not right.
Yeah, Cuban maybe.
Yeah,
you got to think Haiti, proximity to Cuba. There's got to be.
There were. You remember back, and
the Dominicans right there too, right?
Yes, the Dominicans right there. And I don't have a specific. Maybe one of you does. Maybe one of you do. But there was some initial reports when the shooting happened in Vegas a couple of years ago, and the initial reports were of multiple people and yada yada yada. And we saw 2 flashes of light, and then all of a sudden that was all squashed, and they blamed it all on that one CPA who had a bad day at the tables.
Yeah.
Yep, he had a bad day he was playing Baccarat and brought in 50 guns and shot everybody. I'm not buying it.
No.
I'm still not buying it. And they still haven't really told us what happened.
Not much at all.
No.
Not much at all.
But we're conspiracy buffs. Scott Tomko this morning, he's up early as well. It's Scott's anniversary. 39 years, folks. Now, we would never, because we just
We
don't,
don't do that.
you know. But, hey, if we did, it'd be like, hey, happy anniversary, Scotty. Way to go, bud.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Flintstones, circa 72.
Probably earlier than that.
Happy anniversary. Remember that? Yeah, that was great.
I love that. That episode was awesome.
Barney was
88
good.
Fingers Louie.
Yes, he played all the way off the piano, and then he came back. Yeah,
Come on, 88 Fingers.
great stuff. Just great stuff.
It was. So happy anniversary to Scott and his wife Lottie.
She's put up with a Lottie through the years.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I guess he's put up with a Lottie too.
Yeah, he has.
That's how it works.
Boom, boom.
What do
Bobby
you got
Makers,
there?
good morning. Bobby Leister checking in. Robin Moore Knipling, Lisa Poole, good morning. David Glass, Richard King. Leisterometers holding steady at 1,005. Bobby says none have floated away, surprisingly.
Good job.
Karen Webb, good morning. Junior Samples checking in. Daniel Bird, good morning. Janelle Sarles, Chris Conrad, Christina Wise, Heather Monroe, Ricky King, Ryan Hopping, Lisa Poole.
Our mic's back. Man, my mic's good.
Yeah, sounds good. It's got to be the connections.
Hang on. Ashley's going to work on that. He does this so well, folks. I couldn't do it without him. Is it plugged into the phone well? The problem is there's in this one setup, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 connections. And there's just all it takes is one little glitchula.
Blame it on the rain.
Lisa says the mics are staticky.
Yeah, I don't know that they're sounding clear here.
I just don't know what you want from us.
I can't give it no more, Captain.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody says it's
Scotty.
better. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, I didn't pushed everything in tighter. It's
Let's-
weird. I mean,
There's
nothing
John
there.
Paul Hull. He
Yeah,
says we
good
sound good. Good morning,
Yeah.
JP.
So where do we want to start this morning? Because I know we got, I think Mayor-elect Jeff Bachnight is going to stop by.
Said
We
he
got
was.
Jason Burmeister is going to stop by if they can get here. The roads are. I had some high water coming in. So folks in the Victoria area, please drive safely all through South Texas. Flash flood watches all in effect.
Yes.
So please drive safely and be careful. And
Scott
as they
Tompkins.
say, turn around, don't drown.
Scotty says the audience is always right.
Yeah.
Well, that's true unless they're wrong.
But
Who was that?
I think it's Mr. Burmeister stopping by.
Hey. All right. Yeah, we're going to
Yeah,
talk to him in a minute.
should we bring him in right
Yeah,
now?
let's do that now
Let's
because
get him in and then right
he's
before
got-
the first break.
he's got places to
busy,
go,
busy
things
man,
to do.
places to go, people to see, tiaras to bring.
Oh, and he brought girls. It's all, it's just, we're very fortunate. Come on up. We got your microphone.
I'll turn the
Get
camera.
them a little get them a little FaceTime. Hello. He's going to turn that for
right in
you.
front of that little mural behind you.
Jason, where's the rest of you? You lose any more weight, we're not going to know what happened to you. Get right up here and you have talk right into that mic. No, you look fantastic.
Well,
Got to get right in. Remember, you got to be obscenely close to that microphone for people
It's
to hear you.
uncomfortably
So,
close.
right
There you go. You look great. Tell us what's happening. What's the latest?
Latest and greatest. We haven't been at the studio in a while.
I know. Look, this is the Tower of Power here.
Looks really, really good.
Thank you.
Congratulations to y'all. Our queen here, this time I come in, the last time we're like, I want a crown, so I brought you down to Bill's studio. So I said, you know what? It's time to bring you guys the new official crown for this Golden Crescent. So
Look at that.
I love our queen. That is our king crown. It's custom made right from our custom designer. So it's literally made by hand.
Isn't that something?
That's cool.
Actually, her crown too.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's actually handmade.
And it says Miss Golden Crescent across the top of it. That's gorgeous.
That is our new crowns for the year. And so, yeah,
So nice.
Upped our game. So we want to drop that off to you guys as well as see some updates.
Oh, this is something we can keep?
That is something you can keep. Yes, sir.
Wow, how about that?
You
Look,
get, you
look
get
at
to
some
wear it
just-
today
no,
because
no,
I have
no,
a hat
you can wear
on.
Oh, okay. I feel like Burger King. How do you adjust it? You do a little bending? It needs to be a little bit bigger for my big dome. Don't
Might not
break
get any bigger.
right?
I mean, it's already 7 5/8.
It'll sit nicely right here. It's perfect.
There you go.
I
A couple
love it.
hairpins and
I feel
everything.
like Burger King.
There you go. The king of the studio.
There you go. No,
King of BS right here.
the prince-elect here. Ash is the king. So like I feel like I'm trying to balance this. Is that how you feel, or do you have it locked in?
Yes, sir. It's definitely a lot to balance in your head.
Tell us your name. Tell us your story.
My name is Taylor Gruden, and I'm 2021 Miss Golden Crescent, and it's so awesome to be here. I am so blessed to serve in the community this year and just really help out with my court.
Well, it's a constant theme we hear from your organization is the word service. And I know it centers on service and education and community. So we've been proud to be a part of it basically from the start, and love you guys. Very, very excited. Tell us what's coming up and how we can help promote it. Tell them, because you're talking to a bunch of people right now.
So, like I said, we haven't been in the studio in a while, but actually this year, she is our 2021 Miss Golden Crescent. Last year, we really stepped it up to the plate by offering endorsements to Miss Texas and Miss Texas Outstanding Team. So, again, she'll be preparing as our 2021 Miss Golden Crescent to show down on June 2022 in Richardson, Texas. So, this is the official Miss Texas pageant, Miss Texas Outstanding Team. We have 2 recipients represent us this year right here from Victoria County. So, I take that as a huge honor with my team.
Yes.
To make that possible.
So
That's
big
pretty-
endorsement.
That's a pretty good stamp of approval, isn't it?
There you go. Yes, because not many organizations get to do it. We go through a lot of background and legwork, and so they came down the year before and seen our program. I was like, definitely, we want you a part of what we're doing, and which is investing into our next generation.
And then that makes it easier to get sponsors, and then sponsors let it be bigger and bigger. And it's just a great, great tradition that you guys are starting and nurturing.
You know you're gonna have to put that back on. when
Oh,
you
I'm
swing
gonna
the
put it
camera
back
back.
on.
So
I'm just trying not to. I don't want to feel like I'm just towering over you and looking down on you as the serf that you are.
well,
you know?
but that's every day. So no,
Yeah.
I mean, the crown doesn't change that.
Anything coming up in the next couple of months? I mean, we love the update, but is there anything that our people can sink their teeth into and get involved in?
Absolutely. So our official baby and tiny pageant is coming up on August the 7th. Right here in Victoria, Texas, so it does require a residency restriction, but it is an official county title. So we go as far down as to our little ones, our baby mister, baby miss, tiny miss, and tiny mister, and we allow them to participate right hands with our Miss Golden Crescent and her royalty. So what a huge honor, right? Your baby learns, and we've had babies come in from baby and go all the way up to little miss, tiny, and so again, being part of that, you get to see their growth, you get to see their development. And I'm telling you, I will go back to this one testimony that it's literally, a parent was like, man, my child is not developing in their speech skills, and so forth. She's just too little. And I'm like, no, keep her part of the program. And definitely, when you see that child today, totally different child, able to speak, able to communicate. She's one of our babies of all. She's now turning 2, so we're hoping she comes back to run for our tininess. But again, it's something about August the 7th, right here in Victoria, Texas, Family Worship Center, 10 to 2. Gonna be a big event.
That's awesome. But yeah, I thought for a second he was going to say they were going to have a pageant for little people.
No. Little kids.
Yeah, little kids. Okay, I thought I was thinking like Steve-O might come blowing in to MC it.
Taylor, your story.
Yes, sir. So I have been doing pageants ever since I can't even remember. I love doing pageants and just getting involved in the community. I think it's so awesome to help be able to serve and just be a great role model for the community. And like I said, I'm looking forward to competing in Miss Texas next summer. I think that's an amazing opportunity to have. And I'm so excited to meet people and just be able to share my story and my journey throughout this year.
Is that scary at all?
Not gonna lie, it's a little scary, but it's gonna be easy to overcome. I think it's more for experience than years. So I'm super excited.
It should be a great experience, and then when you're done, you're like, well, if I can go do that, put myself out there on that stage with all these people in some type of competition or exhibition, I can certainly walk in and ask somebody for a job, or I can certainly pass a college exam. And I think the communication aspect that you guys focus on is very critical. I've always been blown away at the ability of all the contestants to articulate what they're doing. They're always very, very, vocal and
well spoken.
well spoken.
So take her telling when we went to visit, when we went to the showdown, she was a part of the showdown. She got to see behind the scenes. We brought her down on that Friday, and we're like, okay, you can actually see the whole picture. You get to see the whole picture of it, and again, it's preparation. It's when we walked in there, I think we all said, literally, you've got to prepare early. You can't just walk in there and say, oh, I look like $1 million, or I feel like $1 million, I'm going to win this. We know it's, and we kind of veer away from competition. We kind of say the word, this year has changed for us, because before I'd say, you've got to be better than your competition. You've got to watch and see, but us as the team has changed to the word competition now and say learn from one another. So you can learn from your sister queen or your sister king what's different, what your weakness may be, and what their strength may be. It brings you together as one.
Well, Ash and I we're emotionally supportive now. Just whatever comes to your mind, ask me. This is good now. Be ready. Ask me the most random question you can think of. Just whatever comes out of your mouth, the most random question ever. Go ahead.
What is your favorite pet animal?
Pets are important, and that's a great question. But I want to talk to you about world peace and hunger and meeting people's needs. That is why I want to be Miss Texas. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Steer it back to world peace, feeding the hungry, educating the children. That's it.
Well, you're pretty good there.
Yeah, that's it. That's from my pageant days. That's from my pageant day. Little known fact, way back when I was in the Little Mr. Victoria deal back. I ran out. I had to climb up and put on a little tuxedo, slide down the slide. I didn't win nothing. I was about 5 feet tall. I was like 6 years old. They had me slide down the slide.
Didn't gross and said either.
Yeah, I didn't do any good. But I've always liked the champions.
But again, she's prepared, so she got to see what's happening about your experience. What you see.
It was a little overwhelming at first, I will say, but it was a great experience to be able to watch and see what I'm really in for next year. And I was very glad to be able to observe all those amazing young women and what they've done for their communities and their counties and how they can all come together to improve as well.
Do you already have an idea of what you want to do when you're quote unquote a grown up?
Yes, sir.
What do you think you want to do?
Well, I would like to be in the office.
Very cool.
But she wants to end world peace or bring and
you
conflict.
totally blew that question. You've got to bring it back to world peace, feeding the hungry, and loving on small pets. I mean, that's what's got to happen. Now, you're doing great. I'm excited. We're going to follow this. And Jason, please come back when it's closer to the time so we can get our people on. Maybe we can put together like a little contingent and get a Victoria group to go or something.
Were they welcoming of you backstage to observe all of this, or was there a little bit of, well, she's getting all our trade secrets, this ain't right? Kind of like, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick cheating to win the Super Bowl.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't get to go backstage, unfortunately. I think that was kind of closed off, but I was able to sit in the audience and see kind of how the show went.
Well, fantastic. We love you. We love the program, and we want you guys to come back. You are a sterling representative of our area. We're very proud. Are you from Victoria?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic.
What's next on your agenda? What's the next event that you will, where we can, people can see you and meet you and come and say hi?
There's a whole bunch of events that we're going to do, but I think the big one is the baby pageant. I am accepting donations of toiletry items. As a part of my platform, it takes building a village, and it just basically helps foster children who are in need. Sometimes they get taken in at midnight and they don't have any supplies, so I think just being able to be there for those kids and help donate items would be amazing. And this is something that I hold close to my heart because I do have family members who were in the foster system, and I just kind of know how things went, and I would just like to help them.
Awesome.
That's awesome. To have a plan at a young age and to be able to articulate that plan, and then that's how you execute it. So, fantastic. We're getting great comments over here. All of our listeners are like, they adore this concept. So, thank you for all you do. I know it takes a lot of time.
Thank you.
But
again, June, we're already a year in preparation, so our next pageant will be in June. I will say it's a huge honor and a huge blessing as our program grows. We've exceeded, I say every year, we've exceeded the county numbers. And I would like to brag about it, but I like to
brag about it. Do it.
The program is definitely beneficial. People get out, they have questions. Definitely reach out to us via Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram at Miss Golden Crescent Pageant, or on Facebook, which is the most Miss Golden Crescent Pageant, and myself, Jason Burmeister. And this our team of directors. This year we hit 41 contestants. We had actually 46 registered, fully paid deposits, but 41 that fully came through and paid.
That's awesome.
To participate. So again, we're growing. You'll see our beautiful float. We're adding some different games. We're holding workshops.
Before you go, Terry Murray, Modern Warriors, just said, how do we get toiletries to you? How do we do it?
So the toiletries can be donated at the pageant, August 7th at 501 St. Lucie Drive at Valley Worship Center. And if you are unable to donate, then you can always contact us or the pageant organization and we'll get with you. Or if you're unable to donate at the pageant, my bad, you can contact us and we'll be there for you.
That'd be awesome. They'll
Awesome.
come by and
They'll
get
come
it,
by and
Terry.
pick it up.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank
Thank you.
you. We
Appreciate
hope
it,
you guys
guys. Thank you very much.
stay dry.
Yes.
Your hair could get frizzy out there, and then all of a sudden your crown might rust or something. You be careful. We get to keep the crown?
Absolutely. We got to the last one, so I figured I had to update it.
Fantastic. I could not be more proud. This is definitely staying in our repertoire right here. This is ours.
There it is.
There it is right there.
Love it. Love it.
You just need a turkey leg.
We have the crown.
You just need a turkey leg.
I need a scepter, and I already have a serf. I've got a constituency. Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
We love you guys.
Thank you.
Be safe.
Jason Taylor,
Stay
thank you
dry.
very much. Good luck to you. Appreciate you stopping by.
Appreciate
All right.
y'all. Thank you.
Y'all be good.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's awesome, isn't it?
It is.
Hey, remind them, be safe out there. If you end up in the ditch, call Allen's Record Service,
All right.
578-6300. Allen is your go-to tow-to. Be careful on Victoria's wet streets today. The VCS companies, Ash and I are going to
You're
debrief with
sitting
J.R.
here.
Hartman.
You don't have the crown on anymore. You're turning your head very carefully.
I'm very leery that
Yeah.
you fall. Right, here, try it on. You got to try this on. I mean, put it on the cap, the Wade Carter cap. VCS companies, Ash and I are going to debrief with J.R. Hartman today. After you got that little peanut head, it sits right up there like no
That's
problem. Hey, it looks nice. Wait till you see it. Look, it looks sharp. It's metal too. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's very
not
nice.
alone on this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, really, it's real. Oh yes, Mayor McCheese. You look like $1 million.
There you go. How's that? I don't know how
VCS
easy to get
companies.
over top of it.
You don't need headphones. It's just me here. The
That's
VCS
true.
companies,
There we
all
go.
your communication needs.
It's nice. Look, I've never actually worn a crown
Good.
before.
You are the Burger King.
Kind of fits like an old Rydell football helmet in a way.
Chestnut Furniture Company, 101 years, 70 at their current location. Bobby Leon and his family will help you. Chestnut and Love make your house a home, and you just do better at Chestnut. Those are two great taglines.
Yeah.
We love Chestnut Furniture. 50% off still, celebrating over 100 years in Victoria. And then today's your last day to go to Veracruz. Get in there and have a bite to eat.
Yeah, a friend that I sent there Wednesday got the caldo to go, took it home for dinner, and had
And
the
lunch.
and had the Veracruz plate for lunch.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, said it was awesome.
Awesome.
So will be his go-to when he's back in town. So there you go.
I'll tell you that I posted a deal this morning on the Wade and Carter page of AJ's detailing. And you might think, well, it's raining. I don't get my car detailed. But it is.
Take a look at the forecast and
And
book
and
your
get with
time
him.
now.
Book with him. You can go to the Facebook page for AJ's detailing. And you'll find his cell number right there. You can just call him, and he would love to hear from you. Love for you to call him and say, hey, Wade and Carter sent me. How much will it cost me to get this done? So, Adam Darby says, oh no, Brent's head got bigger.
That's not possible,
That's
Adam.
not possible. I have to turn sideways to get in the door with this dome. Not to mention, I get the humor that I've got a big head, but man, hard.
There you go, Richard. It's kind of like Cinderella. Ash is the real king because the crown fits him.
Yes, it's like, yeah, and he is wearing his red slippers.
I don't think the banner's crooked. It's the camera, I think.
Right?
We'll get that sorted out
A
eventually.
little bit. Astros lost yesterday 2-1.
Yeah, day game. Not a travel day because I think the Yankees are in town this weekend, correct?
Yeah.
So, but for most of Major League Baseball, a getaway day. Probably why they played so the A's could get on the road. Although I think they're just heading up to Arlington, if I'm not mistaken. But 2-1 just couldn't really get the bats going yesterday.
No.
But I'm not concerned. Although I guess the bigger news that came out of Houston yesterday, Correa and Altuve will skip the All-Star game next week.
And I don't know. I always wonder. Correa's in a contract year, and I could see him saying, "Hey, look, I'm arguably on an MVP run. I mean, I'm playing good baseball. I'm batting well over 300.
Nice.
I know, but he may think that.
Yeah.
But he's also saying, hey, last thing I need is to go pull a quad trying to leg out a single at an all-star game. I hate that mentality. There was a time that these were just men playing a kid's game, and they just went and played baseball for the love of baseball.
Ray Fosse.
Those days are over. Yeah, Ray Fosse.
There was nothing but pride on the line.
Right.
The guys played it hard. Now, here's the problem I have. I mean, I actually enjoyed the home run derby a year ago, which surprisingly, because I'm not a big home run derby fan, I think there's ways they can make that even better than what it is.
I agree.
And a better spectacle. It really drags on
It goes on
at some
forever.
point. 10 outs or whatever
19,
too much. Yeah,
100
stop
home
it.
runs.
But when the all-star rosters have gotten so big, everybody's got to get their inning. It's
It's like 35 guys
yeah,
on that.
I mean, it's hard for. I mean, how do you have a true World Series MVP anymore?
Right.
Because nobody or All-Star MVP because nobody plays more than an inning or two.
Got to have a big hit. It's all about timing.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just let's get it down to the 24-man roster that they play with every day or 25-man roster. That's your All-Star team. The All-Star team to me now, with fans picking, oh, he's a 16-time All-Star. Well,
Does it matter?
that mattered back when there weren't as many All-Stars.
Did the manager pick up Yuli Gurriel?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if that might be okay. Altuve says he's got a bad leg. You got to
And
wonder.
he probably does.
You got to wonder if Correa just said, I'm not going to go. So maybe that opens the
Let
door for
Yuli go.
Yuli, who probably is deservedly
Yeah.
should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what they're saying is Vlad Guerrero is the best first baseman in baseball. And I have no problem with Vlad Guerrero being there. But Gurriel is leading like every offensive category in the American League.
Yeah, close to a top 5 in most. I think the
Yeah.
only one he's really lagging is home runs, and because he's only got 10.
Right.
He's not a power hitter, but he's going to hit for average. He's going to drive in runs, and he's going to put up home runs every now and then.
And he's fun to watch.
Yeah, but again, and then a lot of times you wait. You're weighing the All-Star on half a season, not even because of the voting, but 3 months worth of work, right?
Right.
When you probably should go back to the year before, and that
he had a bad year.
and he had a
last
bad year, and that should maybe be your basis for the All-Star game. I don't know.
I just don't know, but it's hard to take you serious with the diamonds
Yeah,
and rubies and
I
stuff
know.
on your head. But you look great.
Thank you.
I'll give you props for that.
It's heavy.
So we're past
More
hockey
to it than
season.
you thought.
We have that going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah.
It really is. That's
Can't really move your head.
and you and I don't have any place to put any
No.
hairpins.
No, not at all. Now what's coming up? Expansion draft, entry draft, and then the free agencies all coming up for the NHL here. So
You think Correa is going to re-sign with the Astros, and do you care? Top prospect in the Astros farm system in AAA is a shortstop. Now, it's hard to replace a guy. Correa was really good in the playoffs last year, and apparently his wife has quit beating on him. So,
Yeah, so he's productive
it looks
again.
like he's going to play a full season. So if he plays a full season and hits you 300, he is a wizard with the glove.
Yeah.
He is a beautiful. When you watch Carlos Correa, you young kids watching Correa, when he fields the baseball, especially if time is of the essence, he fields the ball with his feet in the ready position to throw.
yeah,
He doesn't backhand. He'll take that extra second, get his feet set, bend down, pick up the ball, and then just whap out.
doesn't take an extra second. He's quick enough to get
He's
there.
got
ahead
a cannon.
and he's got No, he's a solid player. If there's anything with Correa, I don't know that he's lived up to the offensive prowess. That was that the advanced billing led you to
Right.
believe, But
Scott Tonko says,
Good question,
don't
Scott.
hate me. And Scott, I don't. I mean, you need to look no further than the NFL Pro Bowl to see what a joke the game
Yeah.
is.
And
This
to
is-
me, I still like the Major League Baseball All-Star game because they still play the game. They got to pitch it. They got to hit it.
But what
It hasn't
would you
become a
do?
soft game where, nobody's taking a charge. Nobody's hitting anybody in the NHL. during the
145 to
game.
143.
Yeah.
10-9 in the hockey game, right?
Yeah, but Scott, I tend to agree, but here's why it won't go away. It's become such an opportunity for these leagues to fly in their major league-wide sponsors.
Yes.
Local, whoever's hosting gets a chance to showcase or thank their local sponsors, but the leagues now have to have this as part of their package of enticement for the league-wide sponsorships. They bring all
picture
those executives
Budweiser,
in.
Budweiser
Yeah.
gets 50 tickets at prime seating.
more.
Right. And so does, it's kind of like if you go to the Super Bowl, 90% of the people there are corporate sponsored to be there. Because, that's why a ticket's $1,500 because some corporation buys it for some big executive. But Scott Tomko had asked, why do we even play the game? Let's just say they made the All-Star team and move on.
Well, remember, a lot of leagues used to do that. You'd have your all-star team, and then at the end of the year, they would announce their their first team or second team, right? I mean,
Right.
based on the season. So,
Pete McNally asks, is there any Olympic interest without people in the stands?
well, let's go to Ricky King's question first. Is it really an all-star game, or is it more of a people's choice game? And I tend to agree. I think
It's half
it's
and
become
half, isn't it, right?
Yeah, I think half and half.
I mean,
I
the
really-
crowd doesn't pick everybody.
No, but I think it depends on the sport. A lot of times they do. Remember the flap a few years ago in the NHL when I think the guy from, was it LA or Phoenix, got in there and he was not. I mean, they voted him in because he was an anti-All-Star. Fan favorite, but his numbers were nowhere near
Right.
what needed to be there. And the league tried to demote him to the minors so that he couldn't participate. And yeah, it was a big flap. But
Good morning, Jim
Yeah,
Simpson.
no.
Scott Tomko says, so it's all about
yeah,
the
no,
Benjamins.
it is nowadays.
It's
And,
all
and I'm sure there's appearance fees for the players.
college
and,
sports too.
And don't forget, if they make an all-star team, there's probably a bonus in the contract. So it helps. Pete McNally's question was an interesting one. Olympic interest with no crowd in the stadium because of, is anybody surprised, seriously, that Japan is having a flare-up of COVID 3 weeks before the Olympics starts? No, I mean,
Politics.
yeah, I mean, these sorts of things ahead of major events have become so predictable. It's hard not to be skeptical about the virus just because it's almost becoming, let me rephrase that. It's not almost becoming, it has become so predictable that ahead of something major, the coronavirus is going to rear its ugly head.
Right.
Or in the wake of something.
Super Bowl, World Series. Oh, there's been an outbreak. Like, where's the
Yeah.
World Series this year? I mean, well, we don't know.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
Houston
So,
and somewhere.
Yeah. Never happened post-opening day. You got to wonder, a country that's been as locked down as Japan all of a sudden has a COVID problem? Come on.
Come on. And,
But-
into the stadium comes Zatopek. Remember Emil Zatopek? I don't know why I remember
I
that
don't
name.
either.
It was like, let me look that up on your phone. EMIL.
Was he the
Zatopek.
last guy that year?
No, man. He was a guy that I don't remember what his story was. I think he was Czechoslovakian,
Sounds like it.
and he won the Olympic marathon. But he was it was one of those against all odds deal.
Okay, I thought he was that last guy that strolled in that
No,
year,
no.
way
Do
late.
we don't really want to keep that gentleman away. Let's take a quick break so we can do this.
But let's answer Peter McNally's question before we move on. I think there's still some Olympic interest. I think the fact they moved it, I don't know that I'm as interested in the Tokyo Olympics as I might otherwise be.
Yeah, and the fact that they're all pros, and the fact that Michael Phelps in there, I don't care anymore. The Olympic athletes are all pros too. They just chose a different avenue. Speaking of the pros, Atzenhofer and Atzenhofer.com. The only way to shop at Atzenhofer today is at the .com. It's way too wet. I think I saw a pre-owned Ford Raptor on the lot. I told you that, but I don't know. I can't confirm. It was dark when I went by because I'm so dutifully driven to this program. But I will go back by in the daylight and see if maybe Mayor Bartnight will buy that for me. White Trash Services, 550-1826. Reach out to BJ Nielsen and her team.
They were getting a shout out on Facebook yesterday down Calhoun County way for their guys slogging through the rain to get the job done.
Full time, 7 counties around here: Lavernia, Las Vegas, Lake Tahoe, Reno. Reach out to White Trash Services; they'll bring a dumpster for you. Razor IT Solutions. I talked to JP Hull yesterday. I like JP's advice. He's a no nonsense guy. I had a question about something I thought might work in Victoria, and he said, "Well, I can get you in touch with guys in Houston and Dallas who will tell you not to do it." I said, "Okay, then there you have it." That's why I called you. He goes, "Well, I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I love development. I'll help you any way I can." And I said, "No. If it won't work in a city with 4 million people, it's not going to work in a city with 50,000. So it's not going to work." But that's the kind of guy he is. He'll help you with your analytics. He'll help you with your data. He'll help you with your encryption and your laptop communicating with your QuickBooks through your donate button. He'll do it. The law offices of Steve Kidder. Steve Kidder's a fine young man.
Young man.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time I've ever heard him described that
I
way.
stymied myself. Steve Kidder's a really cool middle-aged dude who knows the law. You need to do a will, a trust, you need an adoption. You need to kick a spouse to the curb. He can help you.
I think he knows a thing or two about IPAs too, because I saw he was holding an interesting one yesterday.
I think Dawn
Gluten-free or something like that.
Dawn gave him $1 just to keep him on a retainer in case she ever decides to punt me. She's got Kidder. There you go. I would just have to fold it up.
That's all you need.
Take your half off the top, honey.
There you go.
That's how that would go. Complete 360, the health bar, right over here, right down here by Woodlawn Bowl is the health bar. Great place for a smoothie or a fruit bowl.
They're open now. They open at
So
7 o'clock.
the waffle is incredible. Go get your waffle. And then at lunchtime, come back for a panini
Or a wrap.
or a wrap. They've got it all. It's all really, really good. It's really healthy. It's all macroed out to where you're not going to get, too much of what you need. So we have a guest, and it's not just any guest. I mean, it's the guy. There's 3 things he is. There's the one thing, and that's the thing, and then there's the 2 thing, and that's the other thing. And then we all know the 3rd thing. God bless America. How are you, sir?
Doing great. And I actually really like your Bob Ross shirt there.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've seen you to call you Mayor-elect Bog Knight. Look at that. You tearing up the gear. Can you get us a grant of some type? I don't know. How are you?
Doing great. Trying to catch up on my sleep.
We were not surprised at the outcome of the election, but we were flattered to see. I noticed that we called the election at 7:03. At the time that they counted the early voting, it was mathematically over. And hats off to Victoria for getting out and voting early. Those of you that did, we all appreciate that. And then hopefully we have more and more voters as time goes on.
Hats off to the election office. They've had stumbles in the past on getting results out. And it looks like they have everything figured out now. They're quick. They have great information on there by precinct. So I appreciate the effort of everybody down there to pull off the election. We do it again on August 21st with District 3 runoff. And I had a great team that worked with me. Ms. Jackie Glory helped. I really appreciated her help. And,
She's a dear.
yeah, and Trey Ramos helped in District 1 and 2 for me. And really appreciated his support and his crew that he pulled together to support me.
I had a nice visit with him. He's a sharp gentleman. I think he did a great job.
He did a nice job. He really did.
I want to say congratulations because I haven't seen you since. So, well run and well deserved. And I think, but the tough questions are coming in already.
I thought I was just not trying to say hi.
You are. Hey, I'll give you one that I hear in some form every day. See if I'm telling the truth. Asher nodded his head. Well, do you think that when Councilman Bachnight becomes Mayor Bachnight, that he's going to continue the momentum, the great momentum that we've developed under Mayor McCoy? Now, I preface that by saying, I know you and Raleigh were close. I know you spoke with Raleigh, I would say at least as much as any other council person, probably more. And we all love Raleigh. Raleigh is going to be deified a la JFK. He's going to be a better mayor in his passing than he could have ever physically been had he stayed. Because it's like He's the greatest. Remember when everything was great under Raleigh McCoy? Because Raleigh doesn't remember that, because Raleigh was like, well, I got this COVID thing and I got all these money problems. And God bless him, he worked hard, maybe to the point that he actually killed himself, literally, physically. But he's going to be remembered as this amazing, momentum-driven, powerful mayor. How do you continue that?
Well, Raleigh taught me a lot about communication, taught me about listening. So I intend to listen, but I'm a little different in that I like things to move along quicker. Sometimes the government that frustrates me because it doesn't always move quickly, but meetings can.
Right. Yeah, y'all's meetings were it was a saga. It was like Lonesome Dove. It was like 8 parts. The meetings were long.
So I like to move things along. I had thoughts that affected meetings when I was at Intel. So it's ingrained in me to try and move things along and get the business done that you need to get done, and make sure everybody understands their roles and what they need to accomplish before you meet the next time.
Right.
And that's how I see myself approaching it, and getting through the mundane stuff that we have to, and then behind the scenes working to better Victoria through economic development, certainly, and services that can be improved for the citizens, and they get their best bang for the buck.
I think it's got to be an advantage that you've had a strong and close working relationship with City Manager Jesus Garza already. The transition should be immediate. Like, there shouldn't be any steps missed or no learning curve really for you. And just move over one chair. And
we sat down last night for our monthly one-on-one that he always does with every council member, and it's supposed to be a 1-hour meeting thereabouts, and we had to cut it out to 2 hours. So we said, okay, it's getting late.
Right, sure. How's he doing? How's his baby?
Doing great. I was hoping to get the baby last night, and just had up the wife's stomach, and hopefully Michael, and my wife got sick, so canceled that part.
There you go.
We'll pick it back up next month sometime.
I have yet to meet the little guy. I'll walk by and I'll see Jesus on his treadmill, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm not gonna go talk to him while he's working out. But
So earlier this week, council voted to award the trash collection to Waste Management again. Can you explain that process in layman's terms so that our listeners, because that's a question that we got a lot of post the meeting the other day, and already this morning a couple of questions on that. So how does that process work, and how does that how does it benefit the city and the citizens when the citizens no longer don't have choices?
Okay, so a couple of years ago now, we hired a consultant to look at the trash service, the commercial trash service, the hazardous home household waste, HHW, recycling, all that stuff, and it's packaged together. And would it make more sense if the city took it on as an enterprise fund? And as they were going through that, they were looking at the entire operation, and then we went out to bid. As we got pricing as a city, we took, if we're going to do a company, this is what it's going to cost. And looked at an RFQ or request for quotes from whoever wanted to bid on that service. And we specifically asked in that bid it separately if you want. So all those things separately. So if you want containers and you want to serve containers in Victoria, what's your price just to do that? No one bid that way. Everyone bid, we want it all. Okay, so makes the evaluation a little bit cleaner. But then they went through the process of going through all those bids with the consultant. It became apparent that it wouldn't be good if Victoria actually did it ourselves. We wouldn't save any money. So sticking with the private, whittled it down to 2 finalists through the process of evaluation, and the evaluation was multiple pages long. It's 14, 16 pages. That a committee evaluated and graded everybody and their proposal. Got down to two finalists. One was Texas Disposal, I believe, out of Austin, and the other was Waste Management. And Waste Management rated out the best. It continues the franchise fee to Victoria. Anybody that would have won would have had to pay the franchise fee, especially if you're doing all of it. That's about $4 million a year.
And how, explain that to me, because I don't understand that. Because if there's a franchise fee, then don't I, as a trash producer, have to pay that to Waste Management? So Waste Management, yeah. So if it's buried in the rate, wouldn't it be, and my libertarian friend, wouldn't it be cleaner just to cut that franchise fee out and tell them to take that exact $4 million out of their bill to us?
Yes, but it's almost 8% hit to the general fund. So we can certainly do that, and then I think to make up that difference, we look for cuts or property tax rates going to go up.
Okay, so I mean, folks, just so you understand, so Waste Management kicks back money to the city of Victoria, and has forever, and they do it by charging I pay $97 a month or whatever. Now I'm talking about residential right now, but commercial people pay more, to the tune of $4 million a year, so that Waste Management can give your money back to your city, but it is essentially a tax.
Yes, and it's so that they have the contract for the city, and this is for commercial, and then no one really wants household waste or hazardous household waste. That's just a loss leader for them.
Right.
It's a service.
Same as
Same as
recycling.
recycling.
It ain't going nowhere. Yeah.
It's a feel good thing. It does not make anybody any money.
And it's not really recycled. It just goes into Republic's dump up there in Houston.
Yeah, and so the rates that are charged to the roll-offs and the containers that businesses have, that really subsidizes those other two services as well. And there was not much appetite for knocking out recycling a couple of years ago. I caught quite a bit of flack because
I remember you saying, let's get rid of it.
From a business, it doesn't make sense to do it, and it saves us. Our recycling saves us 1 year out of 20 in the landfill.
Right. So see, that's telling you that 5% of the average household garbage is in the recycle bin, 1 out of 20, and that it's getting hauled off to Houston is where it goes to their landfill. So it's not in our landfill, but nobody's going, oh, look, a clear bottle, I can make a toy out of that. It's not being recycled any longer.
Yeah, they sort it out in Houston at a MRF, and if they gather enough material and there's no market for it, then that material just goes to the landfill. If there is a market at that time, they'll sell it. But a lot of times, most of it is in the trash.
But we feel good when we're doing our part.
Yes.
Yeah. And paying for it.
And so yeah, I understand, that everybody would like to be in Victoria and do it, but it's not how it's set up very well. And Waste Management did come down on their pricing, so the competitive proposals, were beneficial to commercial taxpayers. So we're going to get better rates across, for the most part. Some people might go up a little bit, also people will go down.
Good. What else you got?
Not much else.
You got a busy year, man. You got a busy year.
Try to get the boat launched and putter down to Rockport today.
Right. Just stay in the ditches. Stay in the county's ditches, and you can worm your way down.
Yeah, you can. I saw a video from North Park Estates up off of Levi Sloan. Kids were floating down the street.
Man, I'm going to tell
The
you,
water
folks,
was so high.
we don't recommend that. The snakes are out. The snakes are scared. The water is turbulent. You get sucked into a culvert, and you can be a dead player. So
Yeah,
please.
no, we don't want to do it.
Fire ants floating.
Oh yeah.
Adam Sugar says thanks for being honest with your answer and your response. I think that
Yeah.
I think they'll always get that from them. Try to keep politics out of it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you've been coming in here, you've been a straight shooter, and I appreciate that as well.
Terry Murray said, look for cuts. Huh, that's an approach I'd like to see. Scott Tomko and I want to know how we can get on the consultant list. I want to be a consultant for something. I want the city to pay me to review something, and whatever it is, you pick something.
Sure, start a business
And
get a few years of experience.
Right.
3 to 5 years of experience.
3 to 5.
Then hang your shingle out there and see if they come calling.
Consultant.
Yeah.
I'm a consultant. But what do they say? Those that can't play it, coach it, kind of deal. It's like I'm an insurance consultant. Yeah, I'll review your stuff. I don't want to write it. I don't want to be your agent. I'm a consultant.
Yeah, consultants like a CEO. Just flies in.
Poops everywhere, squawks and leaves. Yeah, that's exactly right. Finds fault with everything.
Fills their belly and gone.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
when do you get sworn in, or did that happen already?
No, we'll canvass the votes next Tuesday on the 13th, and I'll get sworn in on the 20th.
Okay.
Should be quick, and then I'll run that meeting.
So on the 21st, you're going to declare martial law and take over the city.
Yes. Right.
hey, speaking of, don't we still have
He's
a
kidding,
Harvey?
folks. For those of you that might take that literally and run with it,
Yeah, he's not.
he's
gonna do that.
kidding.
That'd be like next Wednesday's advocate. Bach Night threatens city. Do we have? Isn't there still a continuously renewed state of emergency associated with Harvey?
As far as I know, it's still in place. I haven't looked on it lately.
Can we end that?
Well, it's through the state.
Okay.
It's the governor's office that does that.
Okay.
Anything, there's no state of emergency from the city or county.
This rain's Harvey related.
This is the backside of Harvey. We will rebuild.
4 years
Colorado
later.
has gotten more rain this time than they did during Harvey.
I think we're getting more rain than we
True
got from
story.
Harvey.
I had people tell me that on Wednesday, Rockport got half of the rain it got in 2020. On Wednesday.
Probably so. I saw some pictures from down there. You can't even move around.
That's crazy.
It took Corpus this is like the 4th wettest half year in Corpus history right now, just from this week.
Wow.
Crazy.
Just for this week.
Yeah.
Also the back half of the year.
The back half
That's
of the year.
crazy,
turned this,
isn't it?
yeah, well, I think the January to July period, this is now the 4th wettest January to July in Corpus Christi history, and it didn't get there until this week.
Wow.
That's how much rain they've had to jump those numbers.
What else is happening? I saw the latest deal for the duck pond. It turned into there's a convention center, an airport. It turned into a huge. I just want a couple of ducks. There's a half a dozen ducks down there going.
You can land pontoon planes on there now.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
it's going to be great. Salmon
So
fishing.
now you're getting on us doing something.
Right.
Nice.
Sure, it's our job. It's our job to get on.
I'm excited about it. It's going to look great. A little waterfall feature, water wall, movable dock.
And for those for those that don't know, that keeps the water moving,
Right.
keeps the algae from
Instead of
building
just
up,
having a-
and yes.
Keeps it
So
aerated.
yeah,
So we'll have fishing docks will be stocked. Trying to get them to install some, underwater fishing attractants so that we can know that we're going to have fish by the dock.
Right. Right.
Now somewhere else. So we're going to be able to move that dock to different locations. There'll be a little pavilion attached to it as well.
It's gonna be nice. It'll be really nice. You remember? Well, you're younger than me, but did you ever ride the train down at the park?
Yes, I remember the train. I know where it is right now.
Yeah. Do you really?
Yes.
Would it not
Grapevine,
be?
Texas, isn't it?
No.
Oh no, that was the other
It's
one.
in a warehouse
Yeah.
somewhere here in Victoria. He knows where it is.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be fine? I'm not saying it's even doable, but wouldn't it be cool if you that little across from where the tube place used to be, that little depot was right there. That's where you bought your ticket. The tracks were there, and you just get on it and ride around. It'd be so cool. We get Brother Gary to drive the train. Get a little engineer's hat.
Yeah. But yeah, it'd be neat to have that back.
Probably not going to happen. It'd be expensive. Plus, there'd be OSHA regulations. We'd have to have all kinds of
Remember
safety.
the metal rocket ship in the playground? It was down by Rover's Bend.
Yeah, but I do now, but I can't picture it.
The old
You
playground
climbed on it. I
was
remember you
metal.
climbed on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now you couldn't have it anymore. Oh yeah,
And in the middle, yeah.
you come up with like 2nd-degree burns. I had a great time, Mom. It was awesome.
I was just reminiscing about those things yesterday. The little merry-go-rounds that you used to push,
Oh, yeah.
the little things that everybody would hang on for dear life and
Whoa.
try to throw it as fast as you could.
Presbyterian Day School had to take theirs down because of insurance.
Oh yeah, yes sir. It's my fault.
A friend of ours got the merry-go-round and put it backyard, so I still get to go use the merry-go-round.
Nice. But imagine when you were like,
We used to take wax paper and we would wax the handlebars on those things and the metal slides, and we would wax those things so you could go as fast as you could down, and so it would be hard to hold on to those things because the goal was to try to get everybody off that
that
thing.
was the deal. You got
as you
your
spun
buddies
it.
to go as fast as you could, so they would. When you're 13 on the deal, what's going on? Good morning. You're on Wade and Carter with Mayor-elect Jeff Balknight. How are you?
Hey, Benny, how are you?
Benny Reese. It's all good. How can we help?
Pardon me? Yeah, the all right. Thanks, Benny.
So
he says the train needs to come back.
Yeah, he moved here in 1968. He says we need to bring the train back. Maybe the Wade and Carter, we could champion that.
Yeah, we had it logoed up with Wade and Carter on it.
What would be first? We could start a GoFundMe.
Right.
You think we beat Abbott to the funding for the train, or does he beat us for the funding for the wall?
See, I think the train would come in way. What you do is you start a GoFundMe for the train, and after we're going to raise $500,000, when you get about 450, you just go, it didn't work, and then you and I go to the Bahamas for a couple of weeks.
Well, yeah.
Do you remember what the path was?
I know that it went the direction of from there towards the Texas Zoo, and then it went around that property, and then remember you crossed the road and went towards Riverside Stadium, but I don't know where it.
I can't remember where it went.
It went down and looped around and came back, but now, I mean, people would it would be a hit, but I think people would say that it's absurd to put people out there on a train. There's no seat belts, and little kids could fall out.
Well, it's not going to go 80 miles an hour. It's not the rocket train.
It'd be nice if we had kind of an Amtrak deal there.
That always makes money.
You could make more money as the ride be quicker.
I think you just take a big loop. You start at the top, near the old Little League fields. You go down the hill along the river and back up Vine Street.
It's like a
just
roller coaster.
One big loop. There
It's
you
like
go.
a roller coaster instead of a train.
I should be out there waxing the rails.
Darn
Right.
right. Get that thing going a little faster.
Absolutely.
Janelle Sorrell says use golf carts instead of train with tracks.
Well, you
There are
could
some
do that.
trackless trains you
Well, I
could
did,
use for something like that. Yeah.
What's it called? Flow Paddle Code. They are supposed to be getting some electric scooters for rent.
That'd be cool.
And I think they're going to have it so you can ride them around the park.
Here's a serious question, but I mean, it's just indicative of all the questions I know you get on a daily basis. It says, Mr. Balknight, is there any chance you can make the water bill due on the first of the month, first versus the end of the month, for folks on fixed incomes?
I would say if you'll call down there, I know they have a bill once a week. It goes differently for different people. The bill comes out, and I would call down to the billing office and ask them if that can be moved.
Good morning. You're back live on Wade and Carter. How can we help? Hello? We're here.
Good morning. We're here. And he's not.
And he's not. That's okay. Well, Mayor, we appreciate you coming in.
Thanks. When we have something exciting coming on, I'll come over.
You've always been accessible. We appreciate it.
Doors
So,
open to you, and we appreciate
Yeah,
you.
anytime.
I mean, you're not even a week in, and you're already stopping by. So
Yeah.
I like the precedence you're setting.
I did announce on this program.
Yeah, this was the first place. And hang on, we have one more caller here. Good morning,
Wayne
caller.
Carter.
There you are. Yes, sir. Talk to us.
I think it'd be more beneficial to Victoria, and it probably might inspire a lot more people to do exercise like myself. If they brought back the exercise station along the path there, that asphalt something.
Yes, sir. What happened to that? Did that wash away during one of the storms? I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think it did. But I think if that's a state funded, I don't know what kind of, that's funded,
Right.
Yeah, I think that, you know, you get a lot more people, you get a lot more people aspiring to exercise, and it means more of a distraction to a part.
Totally
Great. Well,
agree.
thank you for the call. We're running out of time, but we appreciate that suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, we like that. And Jeff, this brings me along the line of my brain immediately goes to corporate city co-sponsorship of that. What would it hurt to have the Citizens Health Trail? Where, of course, now I'm trying to spend county money. I think about the Citizens Health Flags. I think about how their commitment to physical fitness.
And there are cities that have done something similar. Adam Dodger says Gold's Gym on the Guadalupe. I served on Parks Commission when that went away, and I think part of the issue with it was the cost of maintaining it. They had become pretty run down, and when they did assessment of it, they kind of went out there and looked to see who was using the stuff. Nobody was using the stuff anymore.
Right. Lisa Poole says, "Congrats, Mayor Bachnight." Bob Watley says, "How about a train with rubber wheels?" Not a bad idea. We could do a train down through there and just make it a vehicle.
Just go on the road.
Sure, we could do that. But we're excited, and see, I like the buzz. We got 2 calls today. People with suggestions. You've got people checking in.
You know what that train
That's
would
what
do
we
if it was
need.
running on the road? It would slow the traffic down through there because it is. They speed through there pretty good.
It's 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, they forget.
And all you got to do is sit down there during a Generals game and listen to the peel outs behind the center field fence.
Yeah,
A lot of that going on behind there.
Well, thank you all again for having me.
we appreciate
Have a great
you.
weekend.
Thanks,
You
Jeff.
too.
Appreciate it.
You
You
too.
too. Enjoy. Try to stay dry this weekend.
Okay, Ash, we're going to get out of here. The Hall of Famer, Ralph Salazar, will be in here just now with Brother Gary Moses. And we hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay dry. The rain is supposed to stop early next week. I hope so.
Hope so.
So hang in there, stay dry, watch the roads, 578-6300.
If you need them, hopefully you don't. And we'll be back